Hello, people. First off, I'd like to say thanks to my subscribers. I really hadn't expected anyone to subscribe to me, so I appreciate it, and I bow to all of you, and I will try to be worthy. The topic I'm talking about is about how men, not just black men though, all men. How we get this equation wrong. There's an equation that we believe is money is equal to power. Now that equation is really wrong. Money does not equal power. Now money can be used to gain access to power, but money itself does not equal power. Like one example, what everyone knows about is how corporations, pharmaceutical companies, they donate money to politicians and send lobbyists to Washington to get legislation so that, they'll enact in legislation that will actually mean billions to that corporation. The corporation doesn't have the power by themselves to get that done, within their own corporate structure. So that's why they have to use the politicians. The politicians have the power to affect their business. Let's take an example of Dr. King. Dr. King, he had a tremendous amount of power, even though, he wasn't rich. In fact, what he did, outside of getting to one venue to the next, he didn't really need any money in his pocket at all. But his power was the ability to influence people to stand up against racial injustice. And, his power was so strong, he unified black, whites, Jews, everybody, in the struggle. Now, I know last year Hillary Clinton, she said the white legislators were the ones who actually changed policies to help black people out, but Hillary was just on some bullshit when she said that because without the pressure that Dr. King it put on those legislators, they would have just gone with the status quo. Everything would have just stood pat. But back to the topic. Money, that equation, money equals power. When a man, not just a black man, but a man in general, has no money, he feels like he is powerless. When a man has no money, he feels powerless. It affects his self-worth. It affects his manhood. If a man is running around with no money in his pocket, self-worth a lot of times goes down to sub-zero. And in the black community, you know what that means. If you're in the hood, you know what that means. You're going to be accused of being a broke ass and and it hurts. I believe it hurts us more. This is my opinion, because society expects us to be broke. They don't expect us to be a broke ass simple. They expect us to be broke, and that's a stereotype that we don't want to live up to. If you can't rub two pennies together and there's no money in your pocket coming, there's no money in your pocket and there's no money coming in, you going through the hood, people's might look at you that way, and they treat you that way. And if you got a woman and you got kids and stuff like that, the worst thing is for your woman to either say something like that to you, saying, well, you a broke ass so and so, you can't tell me nothing because I'm the one earning the money so and so. That won't set you off, but to really, really hurt you deep. And women are really understanding a lot of times, but if you're not a man, I don't think you can really understand how bad a man feels when he's broke, when he's feeling like he's a broke ass man. And when a brother's in that state of mind, anything, I literally mean anything, might happen. So that's like a real, and the reason why I mention it is because I believe that's where a lot of times that we kind of mess up. Because the longer we're in that state, the greater the chances are we're going to do something. We're going to do something that we might regret. Might do something crazy. Now let's say a man has a 9-to-5 job, right? And let's say he's not unemployed. He has a 9-to-5 job. There's a check coming every week, but all of his money is going to bills. Child support is taking money out. Already automatically taking money out of the check before he even gets it. Now he might feel like he's a broke ass and too, just because even though he has money coming in, he feels like I ain't got no money. I can't do nothing because as soon as he gets his money, it's all gone. I found, that a lot of times the effects psychological effects seem the same between a brother who actually has a job in that situation and a brother who has no job. And he's in a different situation. So, I guess there's different levels of broke assness, but, the thing is, that's a critical time in a man's life, and, we have to do something that, at least try. This is my theory on what we can do to avoid, doing something crazy, because, let's face it, a lot of times a guy might face that situation and say, you know what, I'm just going to start hustling, and basically that means selling drugs. Now, or the man might decide that he's going to start using drugs, try to escape the situation. Or the brother might just decide to leave the situation in general, leave his woman, leave his kids, just go somewhere where he doesn't have to deal with it, and those are all the bad things to do. But that's sometimes the drastic steps guys will take. So alright, now the things I'm going to talk about from here on are probably for the brother who has, who has no job, he has no money in his pocket, and, if he has no job, he has no money, expectation of money coming in. But for the brother who actually has a job, we all know that when you have a job, it's easier to find another job, as strange as it seems, that's just how it goes. So with brothers, brother already has a job, either getting more hours or even getting a part-time job is going to be easier for him. So, he may feel like he's a broke ass, and, he feel like a broke ass brother, let's say like that, but he's really not. He has a better situation, so if he goes out, he decides he wants to start hustling, I've known guys who've done that, who got 9-to-5s and they go out hustling, and, what does the lyric go? There ain't no such thing as part-time crooks. You're taking the same risk as a brother who's doing that full-time. It's pretty much a losing proposition. You might get over, but very few dudes do. And the thing is, the way things are nowadays, the brother decides to take that step. He might not get caught, but he doesn't have to get caught because somebody might tell on him. There's no honor among thieves. I don't believe that. There is no honor among thieves. Anyway, back to, I think the best thing a man can do if he feels like he's in a situation where he's powerless, he's broke, and all this other stuff, is to, the man has to develop 2 jobs. I don't say, try to find 2 jobs. I mean literally develop 2 jobs. And of course, the first job is going to be to his first full-time job. He's going to find a full-time job. That's the main thing he should be doing. But the secondary thing, he should have a part-time job. And his part-time job should be something called, what I call anyway, the short money hustle. Now, for those of you in the game, the short money hustle, you might think it means selling weed, because selling weed, you get short money, you get slow money, but it's steady money. That's not what I'm talking about. Alright, one easy short money hustle, right, is quite straight up manual labor. You put on some gloves, you put on your work gloves, you put on your work boots, and, let's say you live in the suburbs, you walk through the neighborhood, you offer to, clean yards, driveways, do manual labor. If you live in the city, you can do the same thing. You just walk through the city, you go to the buildings, you just say, I'll put out your garbage for you. If someone moved out an apartment, you can say, I'll clean out that apartment for you. If they want to have a wall knocked down in the apartment, say, give me the sledgehammer, I'll do it. It's grunt work, but it's nothing to be ashamed of, because that's the kind of work that men do. It's not like, women are doing this kind of work. So, if you're a man, and, that's man work, go ahead and do it. And like I said, it's short money.